Hello, welcome to Medicine for the Soul Yoga. My name is Kat and today we will be doing a 40-minute mandala flow. We're going to work around the mat in a circle in a really fun, fluid Vinyasa sequence, working with the whole body today. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start on our hands and knees today in tabletop. So as always, engaging the hands, fingers are spread on the mat. You can almost see the tips of the fingertips turning white as you really grip onto the mat. Shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees, neck is long. And take a few breaths here, just arriving on your mat, arriving in this moment. And just remind yourself that in this exact moment, all you have to do is breathe. Let go of everything else. Feel the breath as it travels in and out through the body. Engaging that deep belly breath. Let the tummy inflate like a balloon with every inhale. Find this presence and this complete mindfulness. Nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to be doing in this moment. Good, and then we're just going to gently start to rock side to side. Focus on the breath. And then we'll just gently rock forward and back, just bringing the shoulders very slightly over the wrists. So we're just warming up the wrists here. Good. Next inhale, we're going to drop the hips all the way back to the heels. Let the hands slide forward. Draw the forehead down. As we exhale, we're going to draw ourselves up round the back. Almost let the hands slide back. Exhale and round, draw the chin in. Inhale, we're going to arch the back, roll the shoulders, look up. Big inhale, feel that expanse. As we exhale, round the back. Good, as we inhale, push back to child's pose. Slide the hands forward, take a big breath here. As we exhale again, rounding up, let the hands slide back, draw the tailbone in. Inhale, arch the back, roll the shoulders, look up. Big breath. Exhale, rounding the back. And then inhale, pushing back to child's pose, sliding the hands forward. Rest the forehead on the mat. Take a few breaths here, perhaps letting the forehead gently roll side to side to give your forehead a little massage. Good, and then we're going to lift up the forehead, we're going to look towards the hands, we're going to keep the chest low, and we're just going to let the hands slide forward. So we want the hips to come over the knees. You might stay on your hands, maybe you can drop the elbows down, externally rotating the elbows and then releasing them down so they stay tucked in behind the wrists. Either staying like this or melting the chest all the way down and letting the arms lengthen. Coming into our lovely puppy pose. I love this stretch. Feel that lovely release across the back of the shoulders. Focus on the breath. Chin or forehead can be resting on the mat here. Good. Next exhale, we're going to gently begin to round up back to tabletop. Draw the hands under the shoulders and rounding off the back. Good. As we inhale, we'll lift the right hand up, follow with the gaze. Exhale, draw that hand underneath the body. Find a twist, push the left shoulder back. Either staying here or perhaps lifting that left hand up, maybe wrapping it around the body. Roll and open the left shoulder. Good. We'll gently place that left hand down if it's lifted. And as we inhale, sweep the right hand up. Feel that expanse, open the chest. Exhale, draw the right hand down. Inhale, draw the left hand up. Exhale, drawing that left arm underneath the body. Looking up at the ceiling, draw the right shoulder back. Focus on the breath. Either staying here or perhaps lifting the right hand up, maybe wrapping it around, rolling open that shoulder. Good. Gently place the right hand on the mat. Big inhale, sweep the left hand up. Exhale, drawing down. Good. And just taking a moment here to do a little kind of cat-cow movement, but just make it your own. So just some kind of free movement, free flowing, however feels good. So maybe rolling around in a kind of figure of 8, perhaps drawing the hips back slightly, drawing the knees apart. Just feeling into what feels good for your body, perhaps even coming into a gentle back bend. So really any movements, close your eyes and just flow with your body. Finding what feels good in your body today. Good, and then when we're ready, we're going to gently find ourselves back in tabletop. We'll draw the knees in, so we're going to come into our first little mandala sequence. We're going to inhale, lift that right leg up. And as we exhale, open the hip. We're going to place the right foot on the mat so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And draw the right hand up, really finding lift in the shoulder, lifting up. Breathing. This right foot is totally on the ground. Option to stay here, or option to push more into that right foot and bring the left foot underneath. Maybe you can stack the feet. Maybe you need a bit of support with the right foot in front of the left foot. Focus on the breath. Push the hips up. One more big inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to let the hips sink down and come into a nice forward fold. A really gentle one to start with, focusing on more bringing the chest towards the thighs. So lengthening rather than the forehead just coming down. Bringing the chest, almost reaching it towards the knees. Good. Gently coming up, roll the shoulders. We're going to place the hands either side of us and just kind of shuffle ourselves back onto the center of the mat. And then we're going to use our core, fingers are spread, to lift up the hips. Thighs could still be on the mat here. This also really depends on how long your arms are. It makes it easier if you have longer arms. Maybe lifting the thighs off too, so we're just on the heels. And we're, with control, going to try, as much as you can, to slide the feet back to crossing the legs, and then dive our hands forward and step back to plank. Good. Big inhale here. Exhale, take our vinyasa, drop the knees and the hips. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into a gentle back bend. Exhale, back to downward dog. Pedaling out the heels here. Big deep breaths in and out through the nose. Good. Inhale, rolling forward, drawing the knees down onto the mat. Draw the hands back. Inhale, lifting that right leg up again. Exhale, placing the right foot on the mat so the toes are facing towards the back. Inhale, really reach that right hand up. Check that you're not collapsing in this left shoulder. Find height. Either staying here works, or coming into a full side plank. Finding that positioning for your feet that works for you. Lifting the hips up, looking up if you can at that right hand. Focus on the breath. One more big inhale, and exhale, we'll lower the hips, and again, find a forward fold. Take a big breath here. Big inhale, look towards the toes, and exhale, can you find a bit more space? Big deep breaths in and out through the nose. Gently rolling up, good. So again, placing the hands either side of the body, we'll just shimmy back to the center of the mat, and again, lift up the hips. So this is a really, really great exercise to work on the whole length of the core. So really push out the hands. Can you also lift the thighs off perhaps? Keep the legs engaged. And then trying to make your way into cross-legged position by keeping the hips lifting up. Use your core. And then bring the hands forward, step back to plank. Good. Not the most graceful transition, but it's definitely a good workout. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, take your vinyasa. Drop the knees if you need to. If you don't, then come into your full vinyasa. Inhale into a back bend. And then exhale, we find our downward dog. Good. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Push the chest towards the thighs. Take a big deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. Let it all go. One more big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let the chest draw towards the thighs. Open the shoulders. Good. As we inhale, we're going to roll ourselves slowly, slowly back to tabletop, but this time keep the knees hovering off the mat for a moment. Pushing out of the hands, rounding off the top of the shoulders, focus on the breath. Check in with your weight distribution. Can you perhaps shift the shoulders slightly over the wrists a bit more? Squeeze the belly in and then release. Good. And we'll just drop the hips back to the heels, rest the forehead on the mat. Take a moment of stillness, draw the hands to the sides of the body, palms facing up. Feel the shoulder blades as they release and melt away from the body. Again, perhaps a little roll of the forehead here on the mat. Take this moment to connect with your breath. Can you hear the breath as it travels in and out through the nose onto the mat? How does it feel to be in this exact moment? So mindful and present. Full of emptiness, of stillness. Good. We'll gently draw one hand forward and then the other. Slowly, slowly rolling back up to our tabletop. So we're just going to travel round the other way of the circle. So we'll inhale, lift the left foot up. Stack the hips, place that left foot on the back of the mat. Inhale, draw like you're drawing a bow and arrow, reaching up, find length. Staying here is absolutely perfect. Or if you're really grounding into that left foot, pushing into the right hand, maybe we can find full plank. Feet can be in front of each other to give you more stability, or stacked on top. Option here to lift the left leg. Maybe you can just place the left hand on the left knee. Challenge yourself if you're feeling like you want this to be a challenging practice. See what happens. This is where you grow. Focus on the breath. Gently we'll bring the left leg down if you had it lifted. We'll all sink the hips and then gently come into a forward fold. Take a big inhale here, holding somewhere along the legs and draw the spine forward, really finding length and draw the shoulders back. And then exhale, melting deeper in our forward fold, release the head and the neck. So finding a bit more space this time. One more big inhale. Big exhale, drawing a bit deeper and then gently lifting up. Good. Roll the shoulders. Again, shimmying back to the center of the mat. Grounding down the hands. Inhale, lifting the hips. And it literally might be the tiniest lift. You might still be grazing the mat, but we can still feel this really working in the core. Perhaps lifting the thighs off the mat, engage the legs. Either just bringing the feet into a cross-legged position or trying to keep the hips lifted. Use the core to slide them so lightly back. And then diving the hands forward. Good. Find yourself in your plank. Big inhale, rounding off the shoulders. Exhale, take your vinyasa, however that looks like for you today. Flow with the breath. Exhale, gently coming back to downward dog. Good. Big inhale here. We're going to allow the heels to lift up. And exhale, allow them to draw down. One more inhale, lifting the heels up. And exhale, drawing them down. Inhale, rolling ourselves forward, shoulders over wrists. Bring the knees down, let them hover above the mat. Option to just release into normal tabletop, or option to stay holding here with me. Squeeze the core into the spine. Option to do a few knee taps to elbow. Keep the hips low. Imagine like you've got a glass of water on your back that you don't want to knock over. So either resting in tabletop or taking these little marches. Imagine you want to tap the knee as high as you can on the back of that arm. So this is a really tough one. One more each side, keep breathing. And we'll all release down. Good. We'll sink back to child's pose. Keep the hands forward this time. We'll just let one knee draw out to the side and then the other. And then really allowing the hips and the chest to melt into our wide leg child's pose. Big inhale, and exhale, release. Gently rolling up. Bringing the hands back to our tabletop. Inhale, lifting that left leg out. Placing the left foot on the mat, drawing the left hand up. Ooh, finding height. Big, strong, deep breaths here. Either staying here or finding your full plank. Options with the feet. Options to lift the left leg up. Stay where you would like to today with total acceptance. One more big inhale. Good. We'll come back to plank if you've moved with me. Gently lifting, drawing the hips down. And then we'll come into our forward fold, really drawing the heels away and drawing the toes towards the body. And in this forward fold, we really want to come into a full expression of the pose or what that looks like for us. So inhale, we're going to hold on to somewhere along the legs or the feet and really lengthen the spine. Big inhale here. And then exhale, release. One more big inhale, drawing yourself forward. Look towards the toes. Big inhale and exhale, melting that bit deeper. One more time, big inhale, drawing yourself forward, lengthen the spine. Inhale fully and exhale, gently release. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. Notice how much more space you found from our first forward fold that we did. Just focusing on the breath here for a moment more. Let the breath just rush through you. Every exhale softening and then gently rolling up, really good. Rolling the shoulders. Again, just finding the center of the mat. Inhale, we'll lift up the hips again. This time if the legs are lifted off the mat and we're on our heels, perhaps we could intensify this to do a few heel taps if that's what you're looking for in your practice today. If not, then obviously don't do this. Focus on the breath. And then sliding those legs back, keep the hips lifted if you can, and dive the hands forward. Really good. Big inhale here. Exhale, take your vinyasa. Exhale, we meet back in our downward facing dog. Good. This time, letting the hips swing side to side. Feel that nice release in the shoulders. And then we'll gently walk the hands back towards the feet, coming into a nice gentle forward fold. Keep a slight bend in the legs. And we can hold on to each elbow with the opposite hand. Feel the shoulders release as we gently sway side to side. Big deep breaths here. Good. We'll gently bring the hands down. We'll walk the hands forward, find our downward dog. Look forward to the front of the mat, step or hop towards the hands. If we're hopping, keeping the weight forward in the hands. Light feet when you land. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands up. Big inhale. Exhale, draw the hands to the center. Let the palms just draw either side of the body. Palms facing forward, draw the chin down. Focus on the breath, how grounded and centered you feel right now. Feel your aliveness in your body and the stillness in your mind. Big inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, gentle bend in the legs as we fold forwards. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, bend into the legs, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Good. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. Exhale, shoulders over the wrist, draw that right knee in, placing it forward, drop the left knee down. Big inhale, reaching the hands up, sink the hips. Focus on the breath. We're going to bring the left hand down to the inside of that right foot and inhale, reach the right hand up, coming into our easy twist. Option to lift the back knee up. And then we're going to slide this right foot back. Maybe it will come halfway with the toes facing outwards, or maybe you can step it back to a full side plank. So just take what works for you. Maybe in stages is fine. So perhaps just drawing it here first, and then let the left heel draw down on the blade of that foot and finding your side plank again. One big inhale here, and exhale, we'll come into our plank. Take our vinyasa. Exhale, back to downward dog. Good. Pedaling out the heels. Focus on bringing your awareness back to the breath. And then we'll gently walk the hands back towards the feet. Bending into the legs. As we inhale, we're going to begin to sink the hips and then sweep the hands up into chair pose. Draw the hips down, draw the pelvis in, and draw the arms behind the ears. Focus on the breath. Squeezing the core into the spine. Can you see your toes over your knees? One more big inhale, exhale, sink those hips a tiny bit lower. Good, and then we're going to come all the way down, come into a lower chair, letting those hips sink back. And then we're going to bring the hands forward and try and glide yourself forward. So we're going to let the knees come out to the side, and we're going to play around a little bit with crow pose. If you have it in your practice, go for it and just glide forward. Otherwise, planting the hands. Let the heels lift, let the knees find the tops of the backs of the arms. Look forward, keep the chest lifting, and just play around with bringing the weight into your hands. Maybe bringing yourself onto your big toes. This is a great place to be. Squeezing the elbows together, letting the knees squeeze onto the back of the arms. Perhaps toe tapping very gently here. Maybe lifting one toe up for slightly longer and then tapping with the other. Just see what it feels like to find a bit of lift. Maybe you can bring your weight a bit more forward. Keep looking up and gently release. Good. We'll just let the feet come out wide and just find our nice low yogi squat. Release out those hips. Good. Bringing the hands forward, round the back. Draw the chin into the chest. And then we'll begin to lift the hips as we walk the hands back to our downward facing dog, pedaling out the heels. Focus on the breath. Good. As we inhale, we're going to draw the left knee towards the body, shoulders over wrist, place that left foot down, draw the right knee on the mat. Big inhale, reaching up the hands, sink the hips low. Take a big, lovely inhale here. Feel the expanse with your chest open. And exhale, allow the hips to draw down. We're going to draw the right hand down onto the mat and inhale, coming into our easy twist. Look up at that left hand. Breathing here. Going to lift up that back leg, back knee. Option to slide the left foot back halfway and then all the way back, or perhaps try and slide all the way back with control. Let the right heel find the mat. Pushing up the hips, coming back to our side plank. Focus on the breath. Gently look towards the right hand and then we'll let the left hand find. Good. Option to take your vinyasa or just meet us in downward dog. Exhale, we find our downward dog. We walk out the heels. Good. I'm going to draw the knees down to the mat. Draw the toes together, sink the hips low, melt the chest down. Take a lovely big deep breath here. Big exhale. Feel the shoulders melting into the mat. Gently lifting up the chest, walking the hands back towards the shins. Draw the knees in together. Big roll of the shoulders. We'll draw the right fingertips to our side, and as we inhale, we'll let the hips lift. Draw that left hand back, open the chest. Exhale, release down. Bring the left hand back down and look down at the left hand, so this nice kind of twist. And then we're going to sweep the hands forward and around. Feel this nice rotation of the spine as we find ourselves over to the left, drawing the hips down to the heels. And then big inhale, lift the hips. Draw the right hand back, open the chest. Big inhale here. And then exhale, drawing the hands down, again finding that twist. Drawing the hands to center. This time hands find each other behind the back, interlacing the hands. Draw the forehead down. Let the hips lift up. Let the hands float over the head. Big deep breath here as we really let the shoulders release. Every exhale, imagine like someone's gently drawing your hands forward. See how much more space you really can find. The shoulders are a big muscle, so they do take a while to find all of the space that is available to you. Use your breath. One more big inhale. And exhale, gently rolling back with the forehead and the hips down towards the heels. Let the hands come down and just rest either side of the body, palms facing up. Take a few breaths here. Feel yourself release all the tension that you have in the body. Feel yourself just being. Good. We'll gently draw the hands beneath the shoulders. Gently peel the forehead off the mat. Big shoulder roll at the top. Good. We'll just bring the feet out to the side and we'll slide the feet forward. bringing the hands forward as well. So we're going to draw the left foot in, have the left knee pointing forward, and draw the right foot over the left knee, trying to keep both hips square on the mat. We'll bring the left hand out, wrap the left hand around the right knee, and drawing ourselves up with the chest, and then gently back. Roll that right shoulder away from you and look behind you. Big inhale, big exhale. Good, gently looking forward. We've done this before, we're going to do a nice circle here. So we keep the feet where they are. We use our hands to help lift the hips, and we're going to spin to the left. So spinning around, come onto the feet, let the heels spin around, keep the toes where they are, spin all the way around in a big circle, and then find ourselves back. Again, perhaps not the most graceful transition, but quite a fun little one to practice. So now the legs are the other way around. Might feel differently on the sides, that's okay. If this was really uncomfortable for you, you can bring that left foot just slightly more to the center to let the hips be a bit more sinking down into the mat. We're going to bring that right hand out, wrapping it around the left, finding height as we twist around, look behind us, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Big inhale, big exhale. Can you hug that knee in a bit closer, look a bit further back? And gently looking forward, good. Unravel the legs. Placing the feet in front of you, hold the hands over the shins. As we exhale, we're going to lean back into the legs, draw the chin into the chest. As we inhale, open the knees, shine the chest forward. As we exhale, round the back, draw the chin into the chest. As we inhale, shine the chest forward. Good, exhale, drawing back. Option to just very gently lower yourself onto the mat. Check you've got room behind you. Or option to do a few rock and rolls on the back. Really slowing it down here. So using your control to make it a really slow rock. Perhaps even letting the feet flick behind, perhaps pausing for a moment on your shoulders. Feel that lovely release across the back body. And just gently rocking forward and back. Focus on the breath. And then we'll all just meet on our backs with the knees drawing into the chest. Wrap the arms around the shins. We can gently rock side to side here. Big deep breaths in and out through the nose. Good. We'll release the legs. Hold the hands over the knees and just let the knees release into the hands. Take a big breath here. Feel the lower back really pressing into the mat. We can release the knees and let the feet melt onto the mat, hip width apart. Walk the toes in as much as you can and release the heels down so the feet are on the mat, hip width apart. As we inhale, we're going to roll the pelvis up, coming into bridge pose. A few options here. We can either keep the hands either side, palms facing up. We can draw the hands underneath the body and perhaps roll onto our shoulders, lifting the hips up higher. Squeeze the glutes, keep the knees hugging in. Or option to come into a supported bridge with the hands. This depends on how high you can lift the hips, but you can place the hands behind, underneath the hip bones and just kind of rest on your elbows. And if you are in the supported position, you can kind of release your legs and your glutes as well. So wherever you are, breathing deeply. Keep the knees drawing together. One more big inhale. As we exhale, we'll lift up the hips a tiny bit more. Squeeze the glutes. Release the hands. Make space with the shoulders to roll so slowly down the back. Keep the pelvis tucked in and feel the spine as it rolls down and down onto the mat. Take a lovely deep breath as you find that connection with the mat. We'll walk the feet out wide and we'll just let the knees fall in together. It's a lovely release on the lower back. Bring the hands just below the belly button. Feel the shoulders release like someone is gently just pressing down on the shoulders. Let them go. Take a few deep breaths here. Can you feel the breath in your hands? Good. We'll walk both feet in, heel toe them into the center. And then we'll just let both knees fall over to the left. Look over the right shoulder. You can place the left foot on the outside of the right knee for a slightly deeper twist, or just stay as you are. Wherever you are, we're going to take a big inhale and exhale, just releasing it all. From the face, the shoulders, the legs, let it go. Gently we'll find our way back into the center. Big inhale. And exhale gently. Let them release to the right. Place the right foot on the outside of that left knee. Look over the left shoulder. Focus on the breath. Big inhale. Big full exhale, release. And we'll gently bring ourselves back up to center. And we'll just find happy baby. So drawing the knees up, hands to the inside. Find the shins, the ankles, or maybe the outside edges of the feet. Draw the ankles down. Gently let yourself rock side to side. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the toes drawing down. Big inhale. Big exhale. Gently releasing the feet onto the mat. Lengthening one leg out long and then the other. Palms are facing up. Big inhale. And then exhale, surrendering into this moment. This mindful meditation moment for yourself. And just let that be. Noticing if there's any tension in the body, from the face all the way down to the toes. Feel all the muscles releasing and melting into the mat. Becoming the observer of any thoughts that may come into your mind. You are not your thoughts. You remain unchanged. You let them come and you let them go. You stay grounded and rooted in this mindful present moment that you have found. And all you do is breathe. And just beginning to deepen the breath. Start to bring yourself back to your body, feel your aliveness. Gently perhaps wiggle the fingers, rolling around the feet. As we inhale, we can draw the hands above the head, really stretch out the body. And exhale, we can very gently roll onto our side and just rest the head in the hands. Take a lovely deep breath here. And so slowly, with no rush at all, when you're ready, you can guide yourself up with your left hand, coming back up to sitting with the legs crossed. Moving very softly, keeping the eyes closed. Hands can rest on the lap. Draw the chin down. Be grateful for this moment. Being grateful for our yoga practice. Big inhale, reach the hands above the head, opening the eyes gently. Exhale, draw the palms down to center. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel as relaxed and mindful as I do right now. And I'll see you again soon.